Hey guys, Timmy here, back in another video, and today I'll be talking about how to stop following the world and start following God instead. So before I start this video, I just want to say, just like my last two videos that I made that were about Christian topics, I'll be reading up some Bible verses. So if you have access to a Bible and you can grab one, I suggest you grab it, because that way you can follow along while I read the verses. If not, that is totally okay, because I'll be reading and explaining the verses anyway. So without further ado, let's get straight into this. Alright, so I have a couple verses I want to bring up. The first verse is John chapter 15, verse 18 through 21. If the world hates you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. If ye were of the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. Remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also. But all these things will they do unto you for my name's sake, because they know not him that sent me. Right? So what this verse is saying, it is saying that because Jesus, this is Jesus talking here. That verse is Jesus talking. And Jesus is saying in that verse, if the world hates you, remember it hated me first, because the world does hate Jesus. Said it's very clear. It was clear during Jesus' lifetime, and it is very, very clear now. Right? That verse is saying that you will be hated for his name's sake. You will be persecuted for his name's sake, because the world hates him and has no love for him whatsoever. Right? The devil is the god of this world, right? And therefore the devil influences so many people in this world, right? And that leads people to hating Jesus Christ and anyone who follows him as well, right? And I know that, as a Christian, you may get hated on, right? That's a given, right? But understand that even though you may get hated on as a Christian, it's worth it, right? Any kind of suffering or persecution or hatred that you may get or receive or go through while being a Christian will always be worth it, right? Because even though you might lose friends, you might lose family, you're going to get hate. Think about what you gain in return. You gain a relationship with the one and true God of this universe, right? And nothing on this earth can beat a relationship with the one true God. Now, the second verse that I have here is Romans chapter 12, verse 2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Right? When you become a Christian, you become a new Christian. You become spiritually reborn. Right? Your desires and all that kind of stuff changes. Right? All your sinful desires, they will change at some point after you are saved, right? That is what the Holy Spirit does to you, right? But what this verse is saying, it is saying don't be a part of this world, because as Christians, right, we know that this world is a fallen and sinful world, right? Where there's so much evil, right? And as Christians, we're supposed to be as Christ-like as possible. And as Christians, that means that we cannot be a part of this world, because this world is evil and it wants nothing but death and pain and destruction, right? And because the devil is the god of this world, so to speak, right? This world wants nothing to do with God. So because we follow God, because we are followers of the one true God, we cannot be a part of this world, because this world does not love us like we love them, right? So no matter what, no matter how tempting it is, don't be a part of the world and don't conform to the society standards. Don't conform to the world, right? Because you may be tempted to sin, or people may tell you that you're dumb for not sinning or doing something that's a sin. But just know that you are doing the right thing by not sinning and not indulging in sin just because you're scared of being judged, right? As a Christian, you are going to be judged for your faith, right? 100%. But no matter how much you get judged, no matter how much you get hated on, never conform to the world, right? When you become a Christian, your mind gets renewed, right? You become transformed, like I said, a new creation. So don't let the world change you, and let God do that instead. And always follow God, because following the world is not worth losing your eternity in heaven with God forever. The third verse that I have here is James chapter 4, verse 4. And it says, ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with God? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of God. right? You cannot be a Christian and stay in the world, because if you follow the world, if you are a part of this world, you are following the devil. It is that simple, right? To follow God, you have to set yourself apart from this world, and if you do not do that, you're not truly following God, right? So if you are a follower of the world, but you claim to be a follower of God, you're not a true follower of God. I know that's blunt to say, but it's true, right? You either follow the world or follow God. There's no in between, right? You can't do both. You either serve God or you don't. And if you don't serve God, and if you serve the world, you are therefore an enemy of God. Because God doesn't want us to serve the world, but he won't force us to serve him either. It's really that simple, right? If you serve God, you can't serve the world. But if you serve the world, you can't truly serve God either. Now, the last verse I have here is John chapter 2, verse 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, love the Father is not in him. So going back to what I just said, if you follow the world, you can't follow God, right? And if you follow the world, like this verse says, the love of the Father is not in you, right? Don't love the things of the world, because keep in mind, this world that we're on right now is only temporary. The things of this world, the pleasure of this world is only temporary, but God is eternal. This world will pass away one day, but God is eternal. God will never pass away. He will never die. God is forever, but this world is eternal. That is why this world is not eternal. That is why it is not worth following this world rather than following God, right? Like I said in my last two videos, I think, we live maybe 80, 90 years on average. After that, we're done, right? Maybe, if you die of old age, right? We're not even promised another minute on this earth. God doesn't owe us anything, right? So why follow something that is temporary rather than follow God, why follow something that is temporary but not follow God when he is eternal and he loves you so much? There's really no point, right? Because God loves us so much, and he showed his love to humanity time and time again. And I get it. The things of this world can be tempting, whether it's lust or alcohol or drugs or whatever, right? All those things can seem enticing and good. But when you really look at the root of all those things, you see how evil they really are, right? Drinking is not a sin, right? But getting drunk is, right? Watching pornography, that is a sin. Doing drugs, that is a sin, right? And while the world will glorify all those things and make them seem so fun, and they will judge you if you don't do it, and they will make it seem like you're crazy if you haven't done any of those things or done drugs or drank alcohol or whatever. Don't love the things of this world. It is not worth it at all, right? The things of this world are not of God. They are of the devil. And while God did create, the plants drugs come from and whatnot, sin is a part of this world, right? And God gives us free will to do right and wrong, right? And God does not want us to get high or get drunk or get addicted to porn. That is up to us, right? We get to choose what we do. God doesn't force us to make any decisions, because God gives us free will to do right or wrong, just like he gave Adam and Eve in the garden in Genesis, right? And that was the last verse I have today, I'm pretty sure. Let me just check. Yeah, that was the last verse I have. But don't love this world, because like I said, this world is going to pass away. Everything we've ever known on this world will be gone. But when we die, we go to heaven or hell, right? And it is not worth following the world and living life and then going to hell, right? People say that they don't want to follow God because they want to live their life. They want to have fun. They want to get drunk. They want to get high. They want to do all these things that are against God. But people don't understand is you can be Christian and still have fun. You can be Christian and still live your life. God's not trying to suck the fun out of your life. You can have fun without doing it in sinful ways. I've been a Christian for 1.5 years now, and I'm pretty sure I've been having fun without doing it in sinful ways, right? That's sarcasm, by the way. I don't need to get high to have fun. I don't need to get drunk to have fun. I don't need to drink or anything to have fun. There are ways to have fun without indulging in sin, and that is what more people need to realize, right? People think just because I haven't had any alcohol, I'm crazy. But that is the mindset that this world is adapting, right? If you haven't done drugs by 15, if you haven't got drunk by 15, you're a boring drain on society, right? And you don't know how to have fun, but that's not true. If your definition of fun is to drink or to do drugs, I'm sorry, but your definition of fun is tainted and ruined by this world, right? This world has nothing good to offer you, right? This world in the long run doesn't matter. But what matters is God, right? Serving God and following God with all your heart, soul, and mind. The greatest of the 10 commandments was loving God with your entire being, right? So in the long run, this world doesn't matter. The things of this world will pass away, right? And God says that we cannot follow this world and serve Him at the same time. And that's really it, you know? And you know, I understand that, you know, things in this world can seem enticing. And temptation is tough, right? Temptation is really tough, right? There can be times when you feel tempted and you feel like you can't overcome it. But with God, nothing is impossible. And don't try to beat temptation on your own either, right? Because temptation comes from this world, and it comes from the devil, and it comes from sin. Don't try to be on your own. Always go to God in prayer, right? Do whatever it takes. But do not live for this world, because it is not worth it. It is not worth your eternity. It is not worth your happiness. While you may think living for this world is making you happy, all it's doing is causing your spiritual life and your soul death and destruction. It is doing nothing good for you. It's really not worth it. So it's really that simple, you know? This world is a fallen, sinful world, and the devil is the god of this world, so to speak. And God wants nothing but the best for us. But if you're living for this world, you can't really live for God. So if you call yourself a Christian, but you also know that you live in this world, stop. Because like I said, you can't serve both. You can't serve two masters at once. It doesn't make sense to follow God and the devil at the same time. Why would you follow pure evil and pure goodness at the same time? It doesn't make any sense. So stick with God alone, because God is really all you need. So that's really what I want to cover today, right? How to stop living apart with the world and start living apart from it and start living for God. Stay in prayer, stay in reading the word and all that kind of stuff, right? I'm going to be honest. I am consistent with prayer, but I need to be more consistent with reading my Bible as of right now, right? So don't stop reading your word, because our word is basically a Christian's lifeline, right? It is food for your spirit. It kills the flesh and feeds our spirit, and our spirit wants to be one with God, right? So stay in the word, stay in prayer, and try to build a healthy, strong relationship with God. And yeah, that's really all I want to talk about today. So I hope anyone that is here at the end of this video, I hope you're able to learn something. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And next week's video will probably be related to this one in a way, but I'll probably be talking about how to overcome temptation, because I know it's an important topic that people and myself need to hear as well. So I'll be talking about that next week. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!